Brent EV Crypto, and today we're going to talk about learning something different and developing a skill set. In this particular economy that we're in right now, where jobs have been transferred over to Asia and India for the last 20, 30 years, there's not enough jobs here to really suffice the people here and maintain a middle class lifestyle for the majority of the people. So most people are living check to check, just barely above, average, and trying to keep above their bills, and they're not really enjoying their life because the income is just not keeping up with the inflation. So today we're going to really talk about how we need to develop new skill sets, because as I did a video last week, particularly announcing, talking about AI and how AI is going to be taking millions of people's jobs, but also AI is also going to help millions of individuals to make a lot of money. It all depends on what side of the coin you on, if you know or if you don't know. We're living in a time right now where it's not as much about racism as it is about what you know versus what you don't know. I think the new wealth generation will be those that know and those that don't know. It'll be more predicated on that because we're in a technological advancement. Such technological advances are happening right now. I'm tongue twisted. So much technological advances are happening now to where it's going to require for you to retrain your brain, to relearn some different things. And if you can do that, you're going to be in a great position, because as also industries are changing and money is changing, guess what? It's creating one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. And a lot of people are going to be left behind, and a lot of people are going to be catapulted to wealth levels that you've never seen before. And we're going to talk about that as soon as I get back. Okay. We back, and we're gonna go into details about retraining the brain and creating and developing a skill set that is relevant for this time and day and age, and so we can put ourselves in position to actually position ourselves for this great exchange of wealth that's happening right now. Now, why do I say there's a great exchange of wealth happening right now? Well, first of all, there's major disruptions happening, and disruption represents a redistribution. I'm going to share with you what I mean by that. First of all, I remember growing up, and I used to go to the record store and buy records, and they actually had records then, and then eventually they went to CDs. But let me just use this as an example of going to the store, buying those CDs or records. These were small mom and pop stores owned by residential regular resident people in the residence. So it were businesses. There were businesses. They were established, and there was trade going on, and I'm sure they bought those records wholesale, and they got them, from different distributors, and they were able to sell them and make a profit. Well, guess what? Those gone. Those are all gone now, and we went to digital downloads and Spotify and all this stuff. Well, what happened to all that money? What happened to all that revenue? So most people will think that revenue's gone. No, revenue is never disintegrated. It only exchanges hands. So this is an example of a disruption. So the record industry saw this disruption, as well as the movie industry. As I used to go to the video stores, and I had quite a few friends that owned video stores, and they had a mom and pop local business that they were able to rent out videos. And as you know now, we're not on VHS anymore. People don't go to the store and rent videos. Therefore, all those billions of dollars from renting videos are gone. No, again, it's not gone. And that wealth and that revenue and all those billions of dollars that was was transacted in that business, it just redistributed itself into another business, Netflix and digital streaming. of movies. So again, I'm making a example here. And right now, what I'm seeing is this is getting ready to happen with money. It's not only going to happen with money, it's going to happen with intellectual properties, it's going to happen with real estate, it's going to be happening with legal and lawyers, it's going to be happening with corporations. All of these different things are going to be digitized and changing. And this is why I decided to be in the cryptocurrency industry, because I'm seeing a digitization of a decentralization and digitization of so many different industries. So guess what's going to happen? All these different industries are about to be disrupted, and disruption means those trillions of dollars, over $867 trillion, will be disrupted, they claim, from the meeting at Davos. And as you guys all know, Davos is where all the millionaires and billionaires meet up every year. Okay. And they're saying that over $867 trillion will be disrupted in these different industries. Okay. Well, again, disruption doesn't mean evaporation of wealth, it means a total transition of wealth. Okay. Now, we have right now, this has never been a time in the world that I'm seeing right now. And this time that I'm talking about is you have the you have the euro, you have the peso, you have all these different currencies in one. The yen, the yuan, I don't know them all. The rupee. I'm not familiar with every currency in the world. There's thousands of them. Okay, but what I do know and what I am seeing is there's never been a time in the world that every single currency in the world, including the anchor currency, which is the United States dollar, which is the dollar that everything's anchored to. I call it the anchor currency. Even the dollar is witnessing inflation on levels of acceleration that we've never seen, and deflation of value on levels that we've never seen, which is eventually going to create a massive wealth problem. Okay, so now let's take it to this level. Money, currency, I shouldn't say money, currency is about to witness and is witnessing one of a major disruption that it has ever seen. Money is being disrupted. So this is representing a huge, huge transference of wealth. Now, guess what? BlackRock knows this. One of the biggest companies and successful companies in the world, BlackRock, Blackstone, Vanguard, Streetwise, Fidelity, all of these, Wall Street, all of these major private equity firms and hedge fund companies, banks are positioning themselves. They're not telling the masses of the people, and they're not getting you guys prepared with the knowledge. Because, like I said in the beginning, what's going to determine the wealthy from the peasants in the near future, in my opinion, will be those in the know versus those in the not know. So if you equip yourself with the knowledge right now of money and what's happening with money and digital technology, and start positioning yourself to equip yourself with this information, you're going to be able to position your family and yourself to catch that exchange of wealth and not be subject to the exchange of wealth in a negative way. So, what I'm seeing right now and what the economists are seeing, I'm not a major economist, I'm just a guy with a tremendous amount of common sense. And I was told by a dear friend of mine's, Kevin. And Kevin, I'm a shout out to you, man, because I never take credit for something that somebody else told me. I never take credit for other people's inventions or creations or slogans or phrases or whatever. I'm always giving credit to what credit is due. And I want to thank my friend Kevin. We call him Kevbo. Kevbo, whoever you at, man, shout out to you. And he told me one time something very powerful. He said, Eric, common sense is as common as ingeniousness. And I said, break that down for me, Kev. And so Kevbo said, okay, how common is it for you to see a genius? I said, that's very uncommon. It's not, too many people that are genius level. So he said that's how common it is to see or to witness people to in this day who have mastered common sense because we have AI, we have Google, we have most people who work a job, they got by these rules and regulations, they have these manuals, they have things that they have to follow, manuscripts or some kind of, regulation or rules, and they don't know how to think outside the box, and so most people today are so pre programmed, whether it be by the media, whether it be by propaganda, whether it be whatever. They don't have their own thoughts anymore. Most people don't have their own outlook on something. They'll see things in the political world, they'll see things in the global world, they'll see things when it comes to money. And just the mere fact that everybody say, oh my God, eggs are going up, lets you know that we've been trained backwards. Eggs are not going up. Eggs are not going up. Money is going down. See how we train backwards? We think the food is going up, but in actuality, what it is, it's a currency that you need to exchange that food. And the currency rate that you use to exchange that food is not as valuable as it was because they're printing money and printing money and printing money. So now, therefore, it's taking you more of that same thing to purchase that same thing. So again, people have gotten away from common sense. And once you find somebody who has mastered common sense, you would think you're dealing with a genius in this day and age. That's basically what he meant saying. I said, wow, Kev, that's pretty deep. Because it made a lot of sense. So again, you guys, because I was a real estate appraiser for so many years, I understand value. And I've become so astute with the commonality of value. I understand things above just money. And I understand that you create value. And I understand that value has nothing to do with money. And that value is just a thing that you can exchange for money. So value is changing. Money is changing. And the whole global economy and because all these countries have been printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing money, wealth is changing. The whole definition of wealth is changing. I'm going to give you an example. Today, data is more valuable than gold. I'm going to say that again. Today, data is more valuable than gold. Mm-mm-mm. And if I'm right, which I know I am, the example of that will be Google. Google's a multi-trillion-dollar company. Why? Because of data. Facebook's a multi-trillion-dollar company. Why? Because of data. They manipulate your data. They do a better job of developing a folder and profile and categorizing individuals than the FBI, Homeland Security, DEA, anybody. Facebook is a major database. They don't have to hire a psychologist now to profile an individual. And if they do hire psychologists, it's so easy for him to categorize your character without even interviewing you because you already tell him what kind of books you like. You already tell him what you read. You already put your family, your friends, your peers, the music you like is all attached to your social media profile. Therefore, reading all that data, I can get a pretty good characterization of this individual. I'm not saying me, I'm saying a psychiatric, a trained person. Anybody with any BA or whatever in psychology could basically categorize individuals based on their peers, based on their financial spending, based on these different things. And this is data that you give up for free. If I follow your spending habits, if I had access to it, I'm saying just by following your spending habits, I can get a good dang on analysis of who you are. Hey man, this guy go to strip club every day. I can get a good analogy of this person just by watching the spending habits. Hey man, this guy go to the dollar store every day, all day. He's got millions of dollars, but he stay at the dollar store. He's pretty cheap. So I'm saying it's not hard if you have the data. The data is the most valuable thing in this day and age because of social media, because of internet, because of this whole Wi-Fi culture and iPhone culture that we live in now and Android. We all have a tremendous amount of data that follows us every day that we create. We create these data crumbs all over the internet. And so that data now has become more valuable than actually gold. And this is why the whole battle of Taiwan is so imperative, because Taiwan is the major place where they make these semiconductors, and that's nothing but data stored on there, and the ability to have a computer and data all in a small little compartment. So again, data is very, very, very valuable today. So all of these things are is changing the way money is being made and the way that the currencies are crashing. It's right now a serious attempt around the world amongst many governments to change the way we exchange and we do transactions, to change whatever we are calling ourselves using as that medium of exchange. Like a currency is nothing but a medium of exchange, meaning that it's something that you trade for goods and services. It's a medium of exchange. So it's a unit that's a medium of exchange. So they're trying to come up with a different way for us to exchange value, because they realize they've printed so many dollars around the world. There's never been a time ever in the history of the United States that has been this many dollars in circulation. And it's just a simple law of supply and demand. Okay, let's just use this example. If there's a limited amount of iPhones in America, if it's only 100 iPhones, do you know how much an iPhone would cost you right now? Because it's a huge demand now for that product, and now the supply is very low. So this whole thing with China is pretty serious, because from what I'm understanding, most of your iPhones are made over there, even though it's an American company. We got to solve this whole tariff war, because most of our products are being made in China. So that whole law of supply and demand, we learned that all in elementary. I know I did. The law of supply and demand. So the more supply you have, the less the price. The price is low. But the less supply you have, the price is going to be high if you have demand for that product. So right now, the demand on you is to learn. Is to learn right now a different way, a different skill set. And this is why we are restarting the 90 to 120-day skill set challenge. Because in this day and age, I think a skill set is more valuable than a degree. A skill set of the right information could position you in a position to catch this disruption and this great exchange of wealth that's happening right now in so many different industries. Okay. So this is why I am presenting this to you guys when it comes to the 90 to 120-day skill set challenge, where we're teaching people how to trade crypto. We're teaching people what crypto is and how it works, because it's a huge, huge amount of wealth that's being shifted over to this digital arena. So we're going to teach you guys not only what it is, but how to trade it. And we're going to teach you guys, if you want to learn Forex, because again, as currencies are crashing, they're going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's foreign exchange. That's Forex. A lot of people are going to make unsurmountable amount of wealth. And it's already happening. You see these youngsters all the time making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in Forex, because that's nothing but foreign exchange. They're trading currencies. So some people might feel like, oh my God, that's so risky. And I'm going to tell you guys this. A gentleman told me 2 days ago, he said, Eric, you always invest. Isn't that risky? Isn't there always, no matter what you invest in, is there always a chance that you can lose? And I said, yes, it is, but you can't look at it that way, because everything in life is a risk. Every time you open a business, it's a risk. Just because you open up a McDonald's is not necessarily, that you're going to make as much money as most McDonald's. You might be just barely covering your bills. So everything you do is a risk. Every business is a risk, but you can't look at it that way, because people are still opening up businesses, and people are still trading, and people are still making money. So yes, there's a risk, but back to this know and don't know. The more you learn about whatever it is you're doing, the more you alleviate the risk. How about that? So the less you know about whatever it is you're involved in, the more you are compounding the risk. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to trade a certain currency and I had information that something major was going to happen in that country that will negatively affect that currency. Yes, it's a risk that I'm going to trade, but I got an edge on everybody. And I have knowledge of something that's going to happen, and that will minimize my risk because I increase my knowledge of that particular event happening. Therefore, I increase my chances of making money. It's just that simple. So this is why we started the skill set challenge. We did it differently last time. There was a weekly, excuse me, not weekly, I'm sorry. There was a monthly fee, and I had no control over that because it was the instructors that were teaching everyone that controlled that. And I'm still with these same instructors, the top 5% instructors in the world in different areas. There's different expertise. One teach crypto, one teach Forex, one teach S&P 500, the other one teaches gold or whatever, or stocks. We have so much to offer you guys because you gotta have to learn money now. It's a time now where you have to learn money, and there's a time now because money is changing so rapidly. You can actually capitalize off of this change. You can capitalize off of the volatility of money going up and down, whether it's euros, whether it's Great Britain pound, whether it's Japanese yen. You can capitalize off of the volatility. But eventually they're going to change currencies into a more of a digital format. And this is why you need to learn how to trade crypto as well. So with that, you guys, we're only taking 10 students for right now. We're eventually going to open up for everybody. But right now we're developing a group of individuals to study together. You'll also own these courses, so you can study on your own. But I am a strong opponent. I'm a strong advocate. Excuse me, not opponent. I'm a strong advocate for us studying together and learning together. So every day I'm going to be doing a webinar, maybe 1 hour, just to go over what we studied so we can all kind of, sharpen each other, because men and women sharpen men and women, steel sharpen steel, and men and women sharpen men and women. So we need to study together and go over things together and rub ideas off of each other. And it's going to be things that I'm going to see you don't see. It's going to be things you might see I don't see. So we're going to study together. I know how to trade crypto. I know how to trade currencies. I did commodities, but now I want to learn Forex. I want to learn Forex. I might even learn some S&P 500. I don't know. It's just a time. It's a time and a day right now for you to retrain how you think and for you to actually be able to capitalize off of all these different disruptions that's happening right now, because disruption is not bad. Disruption is bad if you were the video guy who owned a video store. Disruption is bad if you were the guy that owned the blockbuster. Disruption is bad if you were the guy who was in a position to be disrupted. But if you get the knowledge and you are the disruptor and you're on the right side of that exchange of wealth, oh my goodness, things are going to be pretty sweet for you. And so this is why we're doing this, because I like helping people. I can just get this information and learn it myself and don't have to teach nobody. I don't have to teach nobody. I don't have to open up anything for people to learn nothing. I have enough access and resources and individuals that I deal with that I can just keep making money without even worry about nobody. That's not what my life is purpose. It doesn't give me fulfillment to do that. It's just kind of a selfish kind of thing. I've had money before in my life, a lot of money, and I've had, a little money, and I've had a lot of money a couple of times in my life. So it's more fulfilling to me to see people, actually better in their life. We're living in a time and a day where people are really, really struggling. And so it satisfies my heart to see that I can help someone, to see that I can maybe change their life or change the way they're making money or change or elevate them. That's the word I want to use. Elevate their life. And I can't do it. All I can do is point you in the right direction, and you're going to have to do the work. Okay. But the information is available for you. Like a lot of people might think, oh, I can't trade. It's too risky to trade. We just talked about that. Everything you do is risky. But the more knowledge that you learn, the more you alleviate the risk. The more information you get, the more you alleviate the risk. And the more you better your chances in accelerating and elevating and making money at whatever it is you're doing. But you got to get the knowledge. There used to be a time again Well, we didn't have to know these things. We didn't have to know about money. We just get a job and live a great life. Those days are gone. You're going to have to redefine what you know. You're going to have to requalify yourself, but you don't need a degree to do this. All you need is the information, and I have access to the individuals who are making a lot of money, and they don't want to just make money by themselves. They want to help other people, and they want to prove that not only you don't have to be like some guru to learn how to trade. You can be from any walk of life and learn how to trade. All you're doing is watching the markets and studying the markets and positioning yourself. So therefore, it doesn't matter if there's hurricanes in the world. It doesn't matter if there's fires in Maui. It doesn't matter if China doesn't want to trade with us. Any and everything that happens in this world, you'll be able to capitalize off of. That's the life of a trader. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out, you guys. Like I said, right now we're only taking 10 special students for this particular group. It's going to start May the 30th, but right now we're taking the students in. We're processing students right now. There's only going to be 10. May the 30th is going to actually start, but right now you want to sign up. You want to get with me. I'm going to leave a link under here where you guys can contact me and get ready for these courses. We're only doing a one-time fee, half off. It's going to be very reasonable. I think it's like $400, and it's the information you're getting is it's going to be worth like $9,000 or $10,000. Trust me, the information you're getting is going to be well worth that $400 that you're paying. Nobody will get this access ever again. It's not going to happen again. And in fact, the next time we bring in more students, they'll probably just have to pay that monthly fee. But right now, we want to prove that anybody can learn this from any walk of life, no matter whether you're a college student, whether you know about money, whether you know about finance or not, it doesn't matter. Anybody can learn this from any walk of life. I know that. I've seen them train people that were you would have never thought would have gotten that, and they're making a considerable amount of money every month. And when not only are we going to help you learn, check this out. We're going to help you earn as well. We're going to put you in a position where you can tap into these prop firms. We also have the prop firm course exam, the prop firm prep exam to prep you to pass the prop firm, and the prop firms will fund you 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, and also up to $1 million. It depends on what you want to do and how well you take this. But you can do $100,000 for like I think the test costs $300, but you'll be prepped for this test. You'll be ready for this test. I think the 500,000 is like $3,500. Every test costs money. I mean, it's the same way when I was a real estate appraiser. I had to pay to take that state exam. Attorneys got to pay to take that exam. Medical people got to pay to take that exam. Contractors got to pay to take that exam. It costs to take the exams, but once you pass, they're going to fund your account. And now you don't have to worry about trading with your own money. The only thing is you have to pay them 20% of everything you make, which I'm good with. I think that's fair. Hey, you give me 100,000, I make 10,000 this month because I'm only trading at a 12 or 10% a month. That's pretty conservative because I've seen traders do that in one day. And our goal is just to get you in 90 to 120 days to doing 10 to 12% a month without losing a whole lot of. You're gonna have days that you lost, but at the end of the month, as long as you're at a profit, we're good. We're going to show you how to accept those losses. We're going to show you how to minimize your losses and maximize your wins through risk management. We're going to teach you and train you the mindset that you have to be in to understand how to not be gambling. Like most people, when I first started learning how to trade in the early 90s, I didn't understand risk management. I was just gambling. I was just like, let it all ride most of the time. And that's very risky and dangerous. And we don't advise that for any one of us. We're going to show you guys how to play the odds in a way to where even though you might have a 30 or 40% success rate at trading, which sounds pretty low, money wise, you'll still be ahead of the game because you're going to be using your stop losses in a very, very sophisticated way to where it all is going to make sense at the end of the day. It's kind of hard to explain to you right now. I have to get you in the classes and really show you. It's only $400. I have to be honest with you. It is a cost, one time cost, but that's a lot better than you paying $250 a month every month. You got a one-time cost. You have total access to all these courses. You can study them and study them and study them. And you're also going to get access to the prop firm prep test course to prep you to not only learn all this stuff, but get funded. So now you can make more money because you'll have more money to trade with, and you'll be getting the skill set on how to protect that investment and how to grow that investment. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out, you guys. This is Eric Brent, EB Crypto, and again, I want you guys to win. Like and subscribe to my channel because the bots try to block me a lot from giving you guys information about crypto because they don't really want the masses doing too much crypto now because BlackRock, Fidelity, Chase, all of these companies, even PayPal now is in the game. When they were really against crypto earlier, now they're even in the game. They have a stable coin. So many different major corporations are trying to position themselves in this industry. They don't want the little guys in this. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, you guys. See you guys on the next video. Deuces.
Cryptocurrency.